Hi, this is Donna Price with Compass Rose Consulting, and I'm thrilled to have you here today. We're going to be talking about being found online and how you um, make your business more visible to people that are searching for you in the online environment. And really important information that we're going to be talking about for businesses. And we're going to go through some of the benefits of how to be found online and using directories and some of the strategies. So we've got a lot of material here. We've switched to a new platform for the webinar. I was having some technology problems early in the day, and we just kind of rolled everything really quickly over to this new platform. So I am hopeful that people were able to find their way here and get in on the platform, on this webinar platform, and not miss the webinar. And I apologize for the technology challenges, so we will get the replay link out to everybody and make sure that people have access to the webinar kind of immediately following it. And it looks like this new platform is going to be great. It's got some great features. We haven't turned them all on. We're just using, we're kind of doing a bare bones test run to make sure it works, and I didn't have enough time to figure everything out. So let's go ahead and get started. I know that one of the things that's come up for a lot of my clients and people that I meet out networking and talk with is, that they've got this online presence. They have the website, and maybe they have a Facebook page and a LinkedIn profile, but they're just not really getting any benefit out of it. And a lot of times we'll talk about their strategy of how all of that is set up and whether they've got all the pieces set up correctly. And so this is another piece of creating a powerful online strategy. So it fits into what you're already doing probably, and maybe, as we're talking today, you're going to find that you're doing part of this online strategy, but not the whole thing. And maybe the parts that you are doing aren't totally set up correctly. And that's kind of what I found in working with other clients, but also in working on my own business, is that it all needs to be really set up really well to work really well for you. And so then I started researching, how do we set it up really well, and how do we help people to do that more effectively? So thus another webinar, another training, so that you have the same information that I'm finding, and then you can run with it for your business. But what we've found is that more and more small businesses today are using online directories to their benefit. And so you can see up on the screen that there's quite a few options for online directories. So if you run a small business, you're probably spending a great deal of your time thinking about your marketing plan. And most of the people that I talk with think about parts of their marketing plan, but they don't really like marketing, and they'd rather not do the marketing piece of their business. They went into business because they liked, whatever it is that their business is, a massage, or being a lawyer, or having a store, or being an artist. Whatever that business is, they fell in love with that part of it, and then they got into business and found that the whole "if you build it, they will come" didn't really work, and they had to do marketing. And now they're trying to figure out marketing. And I was in that same place. I didn't really know how to do it. And so I went out and learned it. And now we're teaching people and helping people to do it really, really well. But online directories can be a great addition to your current small business marketing strategy. And they can be pretty painless and really helpful. They can help your small business expand its web traffic, increase the likelihood that your website is going to be found by people that are interested in what you do, and ultimately increase your bottom line. So if you haven't taken a look at online directories and considered how your small business could use them to increase your market presence, then I encourage you to start doing that. And that's what we're going to spend some time looking at today. And we're going to go through a few of those directories and do some real quick, like how to get onto the different directories. So first, what are online directories? So there's a lot of different types of online directories available on the internet, and each of these online directories serves a specific purpose and can be used by your small business in specific ways. An online directory is a website submission service that allows your small business's website to be added to a specific category where it can be searched for by interested viewers. These searchable online directories allow their viewers to search for websites and businesses that they find interesting or that they want to learn more about. So listing your business on an online directory increases your website's visibility on the web and helps to create inbound links back to your business website. So we always talk about how links back to your site can be really important. And online directories help you to build some of those links back to your website. But they also give you another platform where people can be searching for you and finding you. The directories can be accessed often from just anywhere that there's an internet connection. And that means that people can find your business website from their home office or even if they're traveling. So they can be really powerful in helping you to be found. The concept of online directories is actually a pretty simple one. Online directories are very similar to the yellow pages in the real world or the old world that we all lived in. Only the listings are only online. And Yellow Pages is one of the directories that we're going to talk about because it has an online directory, even though you might, like me, still receive a copy of the Yellow Pages in the mail. It's certainly smaller than it ever was in the past. And most people are focusing their energy and their money on the online part of it. So an online directory is just a listing place for a number of websites. Any type of website could be listed in an online directory. Some online directories are huge and cover every topic that someone could create a website for, while others are really small and specific to a specific niche. So lots of different directories that are out there that you might end up engaging with for your business. So let's talk about some of the benefits of what a directory can do for you. Since online directories are organized by categories, finding websites that relate to a specific interest can be really easy. So you might have directories. The directories are set up with categories, and then you can get that whole list of websites related to that particular category right there on the directory. So important in your listing that you're listing your site in the proper category that you want to be found in, where people are going to be looking for you. There's a lot of different types of websites that you might find under a specific topic as well. So if you search several online directories for information related to a specific topic, you're going to find different websites at those different places. So some of the other things that the local directories do, we talked about linking your websites to one another, increasing traffic to your website because people are searching on like the yellowpages.com directory for specific type of business like yours, then the traffic is coming from that directory instead of coming from Google or the search engine. So it provides an easy way for people to find out about you. And it also can help your search engine optimization or your SEO with keywords so that you do come up higher in the search rankings and stand out more to the search engines. Whoops, it's not moving. There we go. Hopefully it's moving along here. So lots of benefits associated, and I think we just talked about some of these already, but a lot of benefits with listing your business in that online directory. The more online directories you can use to list your business, the more benefits you're going to have. So one of the first benefits is exposure. And most of the time, like, I talk to people about marketing and we talk about, can you afford exposure? Because in traditional marketing, that was, lots of advertising and repetitive advertising. And here is an affordable way for your company to get exposure online. And it puts you out across multiple directories, and with millions of people searching in different ways, gives your company more exposure for really low cost or no cost for some of the directories. So depending on how you do it and how you decide to work with it, it can be really affordable. So the more people that are exposed to your business, the more people that are likely to utilize your business. You can have an increase in web traffic, and having directories sending more and more people. Some directories offer advertising, so you can, have a pro link or a pro ad, or, they call it all different things depending on the directory. And so you already know the importance of advertising, and an online directory can be a really inexpensive way to kind of boost up your ad on that directory and get more exposure on that directory. It can give your business a professional appearance. I was going to say experience, but I mean appearance. And you want everything about your business to look professional in the eyes of your customers. So being listed on those directories gives people more confidence in your business. We already talked about some of the SEO benefits of having links back, and the potential increased revenue to your business because you're getting more traffic. Again, you got to look at the whole strategy of getting that traffic to your website and then what people do there. And that's a whole different training and workshop. But if you're just having people come and hope that they're going to call you, that strategy often is not going to work. So you want to be sure that when you're sending traffic, people to your website, that you have a good strategy on your website for engaging with those visitors and getting them to come back again, getting their information so that you can continue marketing to them. So you also have increased brand recognition as you start expanding your reach across the internet, and customer interaction. So all good benefits. So even though listing your website in many online directories is going to improve your website's exposure and SEO ranking, you don't want to just kind of spam your information out there. You want to be specific about it, and you want to take time to consider the specific online directories and which ones are going to give you the best ROI. So you want to find a great combination of directories to join. And if you have a small business, it might be best to start with a local business directory. And that's because people are searching locally for your, if you're a chiropractor, people are looking for a chiropractor in their area rather than a chiropractor on the other side of the country. So local directories are going to work really effectively for you, and be what people are looking for. So after your business is listed in the directories, you can take a look at the larger and potentially bigger general interest directories. that you want to consider. And we're going to talk about some of those bigger directories today, and I've got them up on the screen there for you, the kind of the top ones that you want to be taking a look at to make sure that you've got a good listing on these different directories. So you'll see that on the last couple of slides I've said, check your local score. So you want to make sure that you get your local score for your business and know kind of how you look online. So we've set up a free service where you can kind of check your business listing and see how it's looking online at that getmylocalscore.com is a great way to see what's going on for your company and how your company is looking on the internet kind of overall. And it gives you a really good kind of basic report on your business so that you can see how you're showing up in the different directories and what some of the errors are or things that might be missing on those different directories are for your business. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time just talking about the big directories that you want to look at and make sure that you're getting your business on those directories. So again, that getmylocalscore.com will give you a good overview of how you're looking on these bigger directories. But the first one is Google, and you want to make sure that you have your business on Google so that when people are Googling your business, that you're coming up. And it's a free platform that you can have your business listed on. You'll see that a lot of businesses, if you do search, a lot of businesses across all these directories haven't claimed their listing, but Google kind of knows about them a little bit, and so whenever you can, you want to claim your listing because you don't want a directory, or in this case Google, to make decisions about what's listed and what's not listed. But in Google you can have business updates, you can highlight special promotions, you can have reviews on there, and it helps you to be found when somebody's putting in a search in Google for a business in your area or with your keywords. So really important to start with your Google listing. And so you need a Google account to have a Google listing. So usually starts with a Gmail account, and then you're going to just sign into that Google account and create a new Google account for your business. And once you're there, it's going to direct you to a box that will locate your business information on Google Maps. And that's going to help people to find you. And then you want to make sure that you're choosing a category which fits to your company's profile. And we talked earlier about the different directories being divided into different categories, and that's part of how they help people to find what they're looking for. So really important in each of these different directories that you're selecting the right category for your business. And then Google's going to show your business on its map. And if it doesn't find your business, you're going to need to create that basic business profile for Google Maps. So it really walks you through step by step how to do it, pretty straightforward. And then once you've gotten on the map, it's going to be uploaded to Google, and you're going to have to verify your business as a real one. So you can choose to verify by phone or by postcard. Obviously, verifying by phone is the fastest option. And Really important that you're going to put in the right information, because changing the information on Google once it's been verified is really challenging. So you're going to get a PIN number that you can then activate your Google business account on the Google dashboard. And then once you activate your Google My Company account, your customers are going to be able to read your company profile and locate your business on the map. So then you're really good on Google. So the next one is the Yahoo local directory, and it's also one of the most popular search websites on the internet. So you want to be sure that you're not just on Google, that you've also gotten yourself onto Yahoo and into their local directory. So it does cost money to submit a website to the Yahoo local directory. I'm talking too fast. And we have the link here, smallbusiness.yahoo.com/local-listings. And then you click on the Get Started Now button. So you have to decide if you want to, if this is a place where you want to invest in having that listing, and think about, you know, what you're missing on if you decide not to do that. So you're going to go through their thing, you're going to have to provide the details about your business, and then choose a payment plan and set up that Yahoo account. And they have a verification that you're going to need to go through, and of course the terms of service, and then you're going to submit the information. But again, pretty straightforward. The next big place that you want to be listed is Bing Places directory, and submit it to bingplaces.com. So again, it walks you through kind of step by step how to do that, and then you need to verify. Excuse me. Yelp is one that's really important because it's a local internet business directory that allows your business to grab the attention of local customers. So really important if you're a locally based, you know, kind of brick and mortar type business. It is also a place where people can upload reviews. So you can do reviews on Google as well. And reviews we're going to talk about in a little bit. Reviews are really important for your business, and you know, optimizing that traffic coming to your business as well. And on that local report that I told you about, like, that's going to talk about reviews for your business. It kind of gives you an overview of those reviews as well. So you can, you know, Google Yelp, or you can do biz.yelp.com, sign up, and get started on the sign up for your Yelp listing. And then you go through there step by step, filling in, you know, and one of the things that I recommend is that you create a Word document that has some of the information, and then you can copy and paste. But the most important thing I found is to have, you know, that description that you want, because you want to present yourself professionally and have that consistent description kind of across the different platforms. And some of that might vary based on, you know, what you can add, you know, the size of the description. But having that kind of laid out ahead of time is just going to help you to get them all done faster and maintain consistency. So you want to have it accessible. You're going to need your business logo. You know, you're going to need to decide which phone number and keep things consistent across the different directories, your web address, and then, you know, your business address, and then the categories, etc. So, but the business description, you know, you get to that box and you're like, oh, what am I going to write? And you don't want to type it over and over again. And you had one that sounded good, and then you moved on. And, you know, so just create that Word document so that you have it, and you can kind of keep that consistent description across each one. And then, you know, we've got a hint here, you know, to gain credibility on Yelp, you should take time to positively review other local businesses, and then they might return the favor. So keep it positive, because you want your business to establish credibility on the Yelp platform. The next one is Merchant Circle. And I found that this one's ignored by a lot of businesses, but it's one of the, when you're searching for a business, the listings often come up in the, you know, the top results for the business, especially if it's a business that does not have a website. And I find a lot of Merchant Circle like unclaimed listings, and they'll say, "Is this you?" And you know, so they've gathered information from the internet and created listings for businesses that they've found on the internet, even if the business hasn't created that listing. So again, you know, important to claim that listing. And there's some cool things that you can do on Merchant Circle, but they rank pretty well. And so it's a site that you really want to have a listing on. So it's a pretty little site, looks like a small town, and you create your new account right on their homepage there. And then you're going to register your business by filling out the name, contact info, kind of all the same things, and add your business. And then, you know, at some point you have to verify it, and then you can provide the details. So again, you've got that description there. So you're going to copy and paste the description, add your website. Some businesses ask you what types of payments you accept. Do you do PayPal, MasterCard, Visa? So you have an opportunity to select those types of things. And then they have some special offers, member-only offers, that you can look at and decide if any of those work for you or things that you want to do. Most of them are, you know, there's some of them that are paid and some of them that are free. And then there's upgrade offers, so you can do, you know, ads and different things on Merchant Circle, depending on, you know, whether you want to upgrade or not. But you can have a free account on Merchant Circle, and then you're going to have them, you know, have to click a link in your email to verify it. So again, you've got opportunity to kind of customize your listing. You can categorize it, the description, and your business hours if you want to have your business hours listed there. You can have coupons on Merchant Circle that people can use. You can post blogs and newsletter, and you can follow other merchants. So you can connect with other merchants in your area. And I forget how many you can connect with in a day. There's a limit to how many you can connect with. And then each time you log in, you can accept connections from other people. But so there's some good things about doing some of those things on Merchant Circle, because Merchant Circle is communicating kind of with people in your area as well. You know, so if you are active on Merchant Circle, there can be some benefits to posting blogs and doing little newsletters. And again, it's a copy and paste thing to take some of the stuff that you're already doing and post it on Merchant Circle. Kind of gives more content to your profile and more meat to your profile, and lets people get to know you more. And it's just another place where you're building a network of potential customers or people that would refer to you. So here's a screenshot of kind of your welcome dashboard. So some people that are requesting connections, and you can go through each of those and connect. And then you can send messages to people and things like that. So lots of opportunities there. The next one is Yellow Pages, and like I said earlier, it's kind of an online version of the phone directory that we get in the mail, and it allows your business to be, found on a search directory. And a lot of people, they're used to using the Yellow Pages, so they're going to yellowpages.com and looking for businesses that they used to flip through the pages for. So easy to set up your profile, and you can get your free listing, or just like in the print copy, you can have a paid listing in yellowpages.com. And you're going to go through and fill out all the questions on their registration form and sign up for the online account. Of course, you have to verify your listing and choose how you want to verify it. And then your listing is there. So Yellow Pages is another one that's important to be a part of. And then Super Pages allows you to create a free online listing that is, again, another big directory that people are looking on and people are searching. And some of what happens is that when people are typing in their keyword search, these directories are coming up as results, and then the person's going to that category on Yellow Pages or Super Pages or Merchant Circle, and then they're continuing their search in the directory. So that's part of why people can go from that Google search, and then they can go into Super Pages or one of the directories to continue their search. So again, pretty much, going through the same kinds of things. You're going to fill out that form in Super Pages, and we just wanted to, and it's called Super Media as well. So when you're kind of searching for superpages.com or Super Media, you see both of those in the URL, depending on what page you're on. And again, figuring out the category that you want to be in, and confirming your account and going through their terms of service. And then you're going to have to confirm your email. The next one is City Search. And so this one is about businesses in specific cities and provides contact info, local maps, directions, reviews for local businesses. And, so you want to go in there and set up your business profile, and you're going to fill out your name, city, and zip code, and then say find my business. So it's a little bit different in how you start setting up your profile than the other ones. So then you're going to choose your business listing, and then you get to claim the business listing and create that account when you click the claim today. And then you have to verify that. And so they're gonna send you a code, and we kind of saw that earlier on Google, and I think a couple of the other ones too. You might be able to do that phone verification. So once you've done that, you're gonna click submit. So MapQuest is one that a lot of people don't think about, but it's an online mapping and driving website. So if you're going on vacation or going somewhere, you might use MapQuest to get there, and having your business listed on their site is going to help you to be found. And so similar process for claiming your MapQuest listing and going through their process. But MapQuest is a paid site, so you have to decide, if you're willing to pay, and that's a weekly fee. So be sure you're looking at that, not assuming that it's a monthly fee. look at that closely so that you know what the fees are for what you're doing. And then local.com, another locally based online directory, available for free to businesses and helps people find local deals and businesses. So that's at local.com. And you fill out the form and claim your business again. And then you can create that free listing and your profile page. So, we haven't really talked about it, but you do want to, when you're doing these, you do want to have your company logo on there. And you do want to have images if you have images of your company. So if, depending on the listing, like on Merchant Circle, you can have, several images on your profile and, on your listing. And, so different platforms are going to allow different things. But you do want to have images because images are part of what people remember. It's part of, like, you're getting that exposure for your business, and it's part of what people are going to see over and over again and be like, oh yeah, I remember that company. So you want to be sure that you're not leaving that blank. I see, I guess, listings a lot of times on LinkedIn where people aren't going to put a picture of themselves. And it's important to have images with your listings so that people start to associate the colors and the image, the logo and things like that with your company. So you get to, a lot of times with the categories, they already have the categories set up, so you can start typing in your keywords and it'll pop up what the options are related to what you've typed in. And then some you can actually, create your own. So as you select category, you just have to figure that out for each one. And then you get to confirm the listing and create your password. And then you're all set on local. Foursquare. Foursquare, is an online social directory for mobile devices. So it allows people to locate venues while they're out on the go and kind of check into those venues when they arrive there. And so really important if you're a brick and mortar type operation to have your Foursquare page set up so that people can check in and say, we were here, it was great, kudos to the service or whatever. So again, really similar, sign up. You're going to perform a search for your business and then click on it and claim it. And part of what happens with directories is there's things going on about our businesses that we don't know about because we haven't gone out and looked at our listing on the different directories. And you want to be aware of what's going on with your business on these different directories. So you want to claim your listing for each of the directories. And then you've got to agree to the terms of service or terms of use, and then you can get started. And you're going to enter, we're going to verify again. So this is with a phone number. Makes sense. It's a mobile device. And then you're going to go through the steps of the verification once you start that process. So LinkedIn, professional business related online networking site. I think for most businesses, you should have a LinkedIn profile and a business page on LinkedIn. I think for marketing, LinkedIn is more effective depending on the type of business for some business people. And Facebook and other platforms might be more effective for other businesses. But you want to have a presence on LinkedIn and not ignore the value of being there, because I think it's one of the places that people go to kind of check companies out and vet vet people and companies. So you want to create your professional profile, and then you're going to have to confirm your email address and, you know, go through those steps. And then they do have a free and they do have a premium, and the premium is actually more than that screenshot, I think now. But you want to, I always recommend starting with the free version, and then if you've maxed out what you can do with the free version, you can consider upgrading to the paid version or the Sales Navigator version. And again, important on LinkedIn that you have a picture there, in my opinion, and you know, your experience. I mean, that's part of what people are looking at is, and it's the profile is, all of these are written from a marketing perspective and not a resume perspective. And that's especially important on LinkedIn. Angie's List is an online site that allows consumers to provide reviews. And several of the sites that we've talked about, people can provide reviews on. Yelp, we talked about, Google, Merchant Circle, Yahoo, like a lot of the sites have reviews. But Angie's List was really developed for reviews. And so you want to be sure that you've claimed that business profile for sure. And again, perform a search for your company, claim the profile if you can, if it's there, and then fill in your company's information and submit that. And then once you've done that, then you can update the profile and add your logo and pictures and description and all those kinds of things. Manta is another one, been around for quite a while now, and important for increasing your web presence and helping you to differentiate your company. So again, you're going to go to manta.com and click on the Add Your Business icon. You can see it up at the top right corner of that screen of the Manta site. And then the forms are all pretty much the same. They just kind of come in different orders. But you want to go through and complete all the things on the form. And then you're going to have to call in and give them a reference code to verify your company with them. And then you can add different products on Manta. You can have a product list. So this one is a little bit different in that you can actually list different products, different services. You can have different social links. You can have your hours. You can categorize your company. You can have the company contact. So it's set up a little bit differently than a lot of the other ones. And it is going to tell you, you know, how complete your profile is, so that completeness bar is helpful in seeing what's done and what's not done. And you know, on this profile here, we can see the name, address, and phone numbers done, and the things in red still need to be done. LinkedIn has that same kind of meter that lets you know how complete your profile is and what things you need to do in order to get it up to that 100%. And so then your Manta page is set up and you're ready to rock and roll, and you want to just keep adding updates to Manta regularly. Kudzu is another online business directory that's popular and similar to the rest. You get to kind of go in and get started with your profile setup and go through the different steps and captchas to set that profile up, and select your categories. And this one is set up in really distinct categories and subcategories, and then you can also add specialties. And then you want to review, and you get to accept the terms and publish that. And then it's going to appear after it's confirmed in 48 hours. So, and that's true on several of the different sites. And you've probably been wondering, where's Facebook? You do want to have that Facebook fan page or business page. Different from having a Facebook profile, because you can gather unlimited number of fans on a fan page or business page versus a profile where you're limited to how many connections you can have. And it increases, your online presence. So it's an important piece in putting together this whole kind of wheel or strategy of different online directories. So you have to have a Facebook account to have a Facebook fan page. So you do need to have a Facebook personal profile, and you can decide if that personal profile is going to be, just for using for business, or whether it's going to truly be personal, or a mix. I would say mine is kind of a mix, but I do most of my business related posting on my Compass Rose Consulting page. And again, you've got opportunities for photos and verifications and agreements. And once you've set up your profile page, then you can click on the Create Page to create your Facebook fan page. Once you're doing your fan page, you have to decide which category. Is it a local business, or is it a company, organization? Is it a brand or product that you're doing a page for? An artist, band, or public figure? A cause or community or entertainment? And so once you've made that decision, then I don't think that you can change. If you set it up as a local business or place, I don't think once you've set it all up, I don't think you can go back and change that. So big, important decisions you have to make. You have to go through the submit and then start customizing that fan page. And on a fan page, you want to have images. Again, because that's part of how people remember your company. So you can invite friends to like your fan page, and then you can add your website. And so you can do all these different things. Invite friends, you can promote the page on your website, so you can have a sidebar or a like, box on your web page, so that people can go from your web page to your fan page. And part of what we do on Compass Rose Consulting, if we have a blog post, we automatically feed that out to the Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, to a lot of different online resources automatically, so that all of them are kind of connected and integrated and talking to each other. So we've covered a lot of services, and there's actually a lot more directories. Most of them are free. Some of them have additional options for paid services. Yeah, so most of them are free. MapQuest is a pay-for-service, and Yahoo is a pay-for-service, and Merchant Circle has pay plans available, and a lot of them have pay plans available. So lots of good directories to look at and consider for getting your business, online in a more comprehensive strategy, so that you're again reaching out to millions more people to then be directing back to your website and potentially capturing those as leads. So we do offer some digital solutions to help people to put all this together, because it can be overwhelming to look at all of it and figure out how to put all of those together. So I wanted to just let you know some of the things that we have available. It starts with that local score report. And once you do that local score at getmylocalscore.com, then we can also build you a second report that starts talking more in depth about your web presence. And inside of our business center, we have a presence builder and social marketing and reputation intelligence. And so once we do that, if we do a second report for you, then that gives you a chance to come into the business center and kind of take a look around and set up a free program in there. So one of the things that we found is that a lot of businesses don't have a mobile-friendly site. And so we have a free location page that gives you a mobile-friendly website. And it gives people the ability to then find you, because they're most likely searching on their cell phone or on a tablet if they're traveling around. And if you don't have a mobile site, it's really important to have one, because Google is starting to kind of ignore the sites that aren't mobile friendly. So we have this option available for people. And then we know that people are making their buying decisions online, and people are doing their research online before they're coming and actually buying from you. And so having that strong online presence is really important. But we also need to protect our kind of virtual online presence and make sure that we're staying on top of it, and that we know what people are saying about us, and know what our own listings are saying about us. So we have 4 pillars of the virtual doorway. We have listings, where we can put you on 300 places, 300 different directories. We have reputation, we have website, and we have social. The first of the 4 pillars is the virtual doorway is listings. The listings include those on the main websites that you need to be found on, since these drive the majority of internet traffic, plus the 300 other places your business could and should be listed on that we haven't even touched on here today. The next pillar is reputation, and that's what customers are saying about your brand online. So what are the comments? What are the reviews? Who's making the comments? So knowing about these things in a timely manner is really important. Your business website is the third pillar, and it's got to be mobile friendly and make it easy to find the information that people want. And the fourth pillar is your social presence. So social isn't something that's nice to have as part of your marketing strategy. It's a must-have as part of a marketing strategy these days. So let's look at what Google has coined as the zero moment of truth, ZMOT, or the zero moment of truth. The phrase sums up a big challenge for businesses. No longer does advertising lead to pure traffic in the store. Most time, advertising leads to online search. And when consumers find problems like broken listing data or bad reviews or sour online word of mouth. They just go shop with the competitor. I mean, think about how many times you've gone out and you've looked at a site and you go, I did this just the other day and it was like broken link, broken link, broken link, and so after you try a few times getting on somebody's site, you're moving on to somebody else's site. So part of what we have is brand insurance. So we have a solution to the different issues and a way to fix the 4 pillars of the virtual doorway. So we call it your brand insurance for your company. So like I told you, we have a report that we can develop for you that gives you a snapshot of your company. And so this is the second report that we develop, and it gives you your overall score and then the different grades. It causes like a schoolyard flashback because you're seeing B's and C's and D's, and it's like, and so it gives you kind of an overview of what is going on with your company online. So let's look at the first pillar of the virtual doorway, listings. Listing sites are everywhere, and we've just gone through a bunch of them. And even vehicle navigation sites are bringing in listing data for businesses now. So we've cracked the code on the different data and how to influence it. Inaccurate listings are identified in a recent survey of US businesses as the biggest point of pain a store faces. Business people are concerned with where their listings are incorrect and how to fix them. So that's part of what we're able to develop and figure out in our listing presence report, is to see where the different things are right and where there's some inconsistencies. So I know for my company, we have a couple of different phone numbers, and this report says, oh, some places you've got one number listed and then you've got the other number listed. And, so then we need to go back and get all of the listings consistent, so that we're listing one phone number all the time and not having it inconsistent. So in this report we create for you, we calculate the listing presence for your store or your business, where it's listed, how you stack up against the competition, and we use the 270,000 businesses in the system to calculate the industry average for businesses in your category. So consumers are going online to a wide array of places to find you, and we're going out and looking at all those different places that they might be going to find you. So we have a look at your accuracy of those listings and grade the accuracy. Sorry, tech difficulties here. So the different grades come up, letting you know whether there's good accuracy or poor accuracy, and we do it with a lot of colors so that you kind of jumps out at you on the page, and check marks and X marks, so that we can see if you're ahead of the competition or behind the competition. So then in our system, with people that we're working with, when we do listing monitoring and reporting, We continue to monitor this, and if the data ever becomes inaccurate, we send an email alert so that you can take action on that. Getting a good listing score is a lot of hard work and can be costly. So it's important to protect your investment with an online monitoring solution so that you're always looking at that. We can get started. We have a team of listing experts and get listings claimed on Google, Bing, yellowpages.com, and Yelp. And that covers about 85% of all the search traffic and dramatically improves your online presence. And then customers are able to find you when they're searching online. But what about everywhere else? It's a jungle out there. So how do we get to these sources and get the data right? Well, we have a contract with data providers, and we use Axiom, Factual, Newstar, and Info Group, and together these four control the listing data online. So then we're able to look at what we found in your presence on these four or big four data listers. So we can see if they have no listings found on the big four, that means we haven't found your business listed on the big four. Then we can get the data right on the big four over the next 12 months. And they start sending the right data for your company, and eventually the listing sites start to pick up the correct information. And then we start seeing those green check marks, and everybody is happy because we've seen incorrect stuff, incorrect information, and then these data sources start correcting the information. So the errors in the big four, if there are errors, can affect your listings in different places. And so you want to make sure that you're getting all of that data corrected. Online reputation is another thing that we look at, because having consumers leave you reviews is really important. But we want to also be looking at what the reviews are saying. So we know that people value the reviews that they find online, and that they make their buying decisions based on some of those reviews. And to the point of 90% of US customers said that they're influenced by buying reviews. So that means you want to have good reviews for your company online. So in the report, we're able to look at the reviews, and we have kind of a snapshot of your business and where the reviews are and what the reviews are. So we need to have reviews not just on Google or not just on Facebook, but we need to have reviews kind of in different places. And that is more helpful to us than having reviews just on Google or just on Facebook or just on Merchant Circle. So we want to make sure we claim the business listings on some of the review sites, and then we employ our industry review generation solution. So this is really, really cool, because at the time of purchase, we give you the ability to direct a customer through an email to leave a comment about their experience. And it's all within our Business Center solution. So if they send us something negative, right away you have the ability to address that negative comment. And then if they send us something positive, we can send them a link to publish that review on Google+, Facebook, and Yelp. And when the customer sends their comments, either positive or negative, it gives you the chance to take further action. If the message is positive, you can choose to send links to the pages, but you can also follow up if it's a negative comment. And the thing about following up with negative comments that's so important is that often you can resolve the situation because you followed up really promptly. And often the situation is easily dealt with. And, so having a service where you're notified immediately that you have a comment and then you have that ability is really, really pretty cool. So we call this solution review generation, but it is also a negative review suppression. So that's because the person making the comments is contained within the business center, and we're able to notify you of the negative comments so that you can get them resolved, thus heading off the negative review. It also is going to give you more positive kind of sentiment with customers because you're dealing with the problems, and people aren't used to dealing with companies that are willing to give them a call or respond to their negative reviews. A lot of people we see are just trying to bury the negative review. So we're monitoring online reputation 24/7. And whenever someone posts a review on the sites we monitor, you receive an alert in your email. There we go, sorry. And it's not just your email, but it can also go to your assistant or your assistant managers. So we can let your whole team know about reviews, and that means you don't have to log into review sites every day, every week, every month to see what's being said. It's all being done kind of automatically for you in the background. But I think what's really more important is that we're also helping you to generate those reviews and then get them posted in different places. So we monitor your review pipeline and draft responses to reviews on your behalf. And we follow kind of the science on negative review response. So we have a service that will help to respond to any negative reviews that come in based on what we've seen as best practice. So there's 3 steps that every business person should take when responding to negative reviews. And then we help you push out the positive reviews onto Facebook and all the different social media and review sites. And this is the mobile-friendly site that we're able to create for you. And then you can see the reviews are popping up right there that we've gotten back in. So we're also populating that mobile site with those positive reviews that come back in. We're also able to generate some reports and continue to monitor all the different listing sites and the reviews and continue updating those as errors are found or things change. So with our gold service, we respond to every review that comes in for your business. and then you have 24 hours to approve the response, or we can just send that, for you. But one of the important things in responding is saying sorry, and that's one of the things that I think people hesitate to do, and that like does so much to change the situation, to just say, hey, sorry that you had a negative experience, or that, whatever the situation was. You want to then follow up with the person. You could say, not something that usually happens, and people usually rave about our service, so I'm anxious to hear about what happened and see if we can rectify the situation. So then you're offering a solution. So I'd love for you to call me so we can work this out, and so you turn positive reviews into marketing. So every positive review gets responded to as well with a marketing message for exceptional customers. Plus, we're able to push out all those positive reviews to the social media, which gets you more notice because you just had another positive review come in. So you also want to respond to the positive reviews. So you can see in this example that we've got the review, and then there's a response to the review from the owner. And so another piece that a lot of businesses are missing is that response to reviews, and saying thank you for the review, and giving some positives back to the customer for leaving the review for you. And like I said, then we can positively push those reviews out. Go. So we talked earlier about the responsive website design, and this is another critical piece to your solution, is having a positive responsive web design. And so you want to have a website that loads really quickly, and it also loads on a smartphone or an iPad or a tablet or a desktop or a laptop. And you want to have the address, phone number, and social profile links on the first page. And those are some of the things that we're looking at when we're doing that snapshot report. You want to have text, because that's what the search engines actually see. They don't really see images. And so you need to have some content for the search engines to kind of find the site and look at the site. So we have like I said earlier, we provide a free location page through the Business Center. And once we've run that second report for you, after you've gotten that local score report, we can set up that free opportunity for the free location page. And it just becomes another place, another way for people to find you, and another piece of web real estate that's getting indexed by the search engines with correct data and correct information that people can access. So did you know that a consumer is 5 times more likely to leave a website that's not mobile friendly? So this mobile friendly website solution is really important for your business being found and for people kind of staying on and engaging with you. So finally, I wanted to just take a quick look at social. So we look at your social profiles and see how they perform against the competitors, and we grade those in the report for Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare versus your biggest competitors to see how you stack up. And so again, we've got the grade of, the red and the green to kind of let you know how you're doing and how your social performance is. And then we look at the we can provide social media writers to get some of the social media out there and push it out each week so that you have that powerful social media presence. And then we create a monthly task report, monthly task report, and of all the things that we can be doing each month for you to make sure that you've got the online presence that you need, and the performance at the end of every month to see how you're really doing, and the different things that were going on during the month for your particular company. So we've talked about a lot of different local directories or directories to be connected with, and we've talked about some of the ways that we can help to do that for you. But you can certainly take all of the information that we've covered today and go and do it yourself. We also have different solutions at different levels. So we have kind of a do-it-yourself level, and then we have a gold level where we're doing it all for you in these 4 different areas. And the do it for you or do it for me is our gold level, and that's where we do everything for you. We're doing with the business center, and we're claiming the different sites. We're making the mobile friendly responsive design location page, the social media plan. We're doing 4 posts a week to social media, and we have the free location page and email alerts of any online activity and the monthly reports. And then we have the silver, which is $2.99 a month, and we have the social marketing software for you to use, but you're doing it yourself. So you have those other things with the business center and the mobile friendly web design, the free location page, and then you can come into the platform and do the social marketing piece on your own. And then we have the bronze is more of a do-it-yourself, where you get to come in and our platform, you're being able to do it and see it and make sure that all of those things are working, but you're monitoring it on your own. But the first step today is, and then over 24 hours, we collect the different credentials for setting up the accounts, and then we do some phone calls with you. But the first step is really to get that local score report, and that's just totally free. And once you've done that local score, you do have to opt into that. So you do have to put your name and email and phone number in there. And then once you've done that, I'll be in touch with you to create that second report, and then we can look at it from there, what your needs are and what your goals are with kind of being found online, monitoring your reputation, and monitoring what's going on with your online profile kind of 24/7. And whether it's something that you want to just keep doing on your own, whether you want help with it, what kind of help you want. But today, I really wanted to just encourage you to be looking at the local directories and the online directories as a real resource for improving your online presence, and knowing that you need to make those listings consistent, and you need to look at what people are putting out there about you, and what the search engines are creating for you as your listing. You need to go claim those listings and make them yours, not let a search engine develop a listing for you, because those listings, I guarantee you, are inaccurate, and you need to claim as many as you can. You know, if you decide not to have a service where we're doing it for you, or working with you to do it, you know, you want to go out and do it and be aware of the impact that all of that has on your ability to be found online, and then the impact that those reviews can have on what people do, whether they you know, do business with you online. So I thank people for being here. I don't know if there's any questions. I'm glad to answer a question or two. I know we've been on here for a long time, and I appreciate your hanging in and switching platforms. And I hope this webinar platform has worked well today. We're going to certainly do more of training. I got to watch just a couple of their like how-to videos before we went live, so I hope it's worked really well. And we'll be kind of moving over here and doing more webinars each week for people. So again, get your local score, getmylocalscore.com. Start there, totally free. See how you look online, and then we'll be in touch to have a conversation with how things are going for you, and what the next steps can be for you and your online presence. Thanks again for being here, and I hope you all have a great day.